What advice would you give the Kansas City defense facing that offensive line and that running back?
I love what I'm seeing from Kansas City and just how well they play. And the fact that, yep, we talk about Patrick Mahomes and all of this stuff, but this defense has literally been the reason why this team is in the position that they're in this year. So stay at home. Um, uh, they have to tackle the football. You can't just try to tackle Saquon. You got to attack the football as well. Make him conscious about not just breaking long runs, but the minute that you get a running back thinking about protecting the football, he's not as good of a runner. It's just that's just facts. It's like blitzing the quarterback. When you blitz a quarterback, if you get to him, he's worried about the blitz. Um, Outside of that, that's all you can do. But as I'm saying this, I know that Steve Spagnuolo is like this dude is a savant. Like he is going to have something different to show Philadelphia and present something different. And you might not see it in the first half, you might not see it in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, whatever he has to do to get Mahomes the ball back, or like he did against Josh Allen, everybody was like, "Oh, we want to see Josh Allen with the ball at the end of the game to win the game," and you did. But you got to see the greatness of Steve Spagnuolo as a defensive coordinator.
And we also saw the emotionality of Chris Jones on the field, too, just in tears, knowing he was going back to the Super Bowl. And since, Amy, you brought up that great point about how well they play on the line, I immediately thought of him just because he's such the captain of the line and how he plays is so spectacular. So what's it like in your brain as you look at a guy like that on the line and you look at Saquon and you look at how this is really a battle of these two lines with a guy like him that can run? So how do you measure this up?
Those interior three offensive linemen for the Philadelphia Eagles, they've been great. And, they handled Jalen Carter and company pretty decent. But Chris Jones he's a different beast. Like, I mean, and I know you've heard this from, he can play up and down the line. He literally can play every position on the line. And if they ran the 34, he can line up outside, stand up, and rush. That's how talented and how awesome he is. And what I love is, guys wear tape and they wear gloves and stuff like this. Dude, he's out there. He's a throwback player. Like he just goes out there and causes havoc. He's going to be in the mix when the play has to be made. That's just it. I love what he brings to this defensive line. And think about what they lost. They lost at linebacker. What they lost in the secondary. They've let a lot of guys go. I mean, they made it. Was it Snead? Was it Snead? They had to make a decision this year between who they paid, he or Snead, and they decided to keep him. And what a great decision.
Well, and you guys wisely brought up the line of scrimmage, and that's where most games are won or lost. Chris Jones, love him, love him, love him. But you know what? Philadelphia has to worry about George Karlaftis as well, and it's math. It's 11 on 11. And if you're going to double George, Chris is going to be open. And if you're going to double Chris, George is going to be open. And that could be trouble. And I agree with you entirely, Marshall. Spags is just tremendous.
Yeah. For whatever reason, Kansas City, they find a way when you have like rushers. Patrick Mahomes has like a knack for buying extra time. He deals with the pressure very well. I think the only game that I saw, I think it was the Super Bowl when Brady beat him against Tampa. Man, and he was playing with some those tackles probably were second, third on the depth chart kind of guys, I believe. And if I'm misspeaking, I'll take that back. But he got his butt kicked in that game. That's the only time I've ever seen the pressure consistently bother him and affect him. For whatever reason, it just does not affect him. I don't know why.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.